Healdsburg Men's Club 2025. We're going to go over some rules with you. This is on the right, four-time club champ, Junior Tamayo, Peter Ramirez, one-time runner-up, Ron Ettlin,
Love child,
Silvera champ, 14 handicap sandbagging bastard.
Two-time Silvera champ.
Oh, two-time Silvera champ. Excuse me. So we're going to go over the holes. This is hole number 1. It's about 115-yard par 3, and everybody parred it last time except Pete. All right. All right. Have fun. All right. Rule number 1. Make sure you're teed up behind the friggin' tee box. Otherwise, it's a standard penalty. Match play, you make them hit again, or you keep the shot it is. And notice how all the money here didn't even reach the friggin' green. So, out of bounds on 1, that whole entire fence line, anything over the fence line. See that white stake over there? And this white stake here? If you're on the other side of that, away from the green, that's OB. Re-hit. Call a provisional. Don't drive down here and have to go back up top and then re-hit, okay? All this side over here, inside of the road, see the white stakes? That is in play. Do you get to lift clean in place? Yes, because it's not a hazard. However, you can't improve your line, from behind a tree to clear side of the green. You got to pick it up, wipe it off, set it back down again. All right, my ball's right there against the fence. Men's Club, we do not play a free drop on this. You can lift it, clean it, place it, but if you want to hit that, you could just scoop it out, give yourself some room, but there's no free drop on this stuff. It costs you a stroke to hit the ball against the fence on 1, all right? Or if you could scoop it in, you're the man. All right, hole number 2 at Taman. All right, nice par 5. 470 yards straight up the hill. Understand this. That cart path, anything left of it all the way to the blue stake pretty much is a hazard. You can hit the ball out of there. However, you can't pick it up. You can't move it. You can't wipe it off. You can't take a friggin' practice swing, all right? So there's red stakes in a couple spots that should be marked clearer. Anyway, long story short, if you hit it over there, and you can find it, that's the key term there, can find it, you could play it, all right? However, there's no relief. If you can't find it, what do we do in golf, Junior? We assume the worst. We assume the worst. Then it's OB. Then you got to come all the way back here or take stroke and distance penalty and move to the fairway, all right? But either way, if you can't find that ball, you are hitting essentially, you're going to be hitting your 4th shot, all right? For the purpose of this video, he sliced one into these leaves just to demonstrate. He's our pace of play guy, okay? Now, he could be like the rest of us, Junior, Pete, and I, or fairways.com, but Ron, for the purpose of the video, rolled one into these leaves. Now, do we spend 4 or 5 minutes looking for it and make the tournament run 6 hours? Ron, do we do that? Hell no. So Ron's just going to be a man. He's going to set a ball down where it rolled into those leaves. Okay, he might kick it around for about 30 seconds. However, if Ron really wants that ball, he can come back after the tournament and get his damn golf ball. Thank you, Ronnie. Just like that, he hits fairways.com. All right, Pete's ball's right here. I just want to show you something. This is what experienced golfers do. They just bunted up there. Is he trying to go for the damn green? Could he? Yes, with some friggin' miracle shot. Does he need to wait for the green to clear? Hell no, because he's just going to grab something he could spank up there. He makes birdie on this hole about 50% of the time. This is all he's going to do. He's going to lay up to a good number. Just like that. And what's this do for the tournament pace of play? This means that we're not waiting 20 minutes for the green to clear. Okay? He's just going to keep pace of play. Thank you, Pete. All right, really quick note. See that white stake over there? We're on the top of 2 by the green. There's another white stake here. If you're in this area, inside the white stake, you can play it. Do you get to come across the cart path? Hell no, you don't get to come across the cart path. You never get to come across the cart path unless you're on this fence line here and you physically can't play it from that side. Then you come across the cart path. We know this is ground under repair all the way down there where it's all dirt. Find some grass, no closer to the hole. You can't go from like where that end of the fence is over to this mound here. That would be closer to the hole. We don't want closer to the hole. We want to just come across, find some grass, chip it up, make the putt. No penalty. All right, we get this question all the time. We're on the second green here. Very well maintained, except for there's a couple, this is another, anyway, do I have to putt through that? No, that's considered ground under repair. There's not enough white paint to mark all this stuff. But anyway, no closer to the hole, but you can move right or left. Just check with your playing partner. Say, hey, I got a little ground under repair here. I don't want to putt through this. Move it to right or left, then make your putt. All right, hole number 3. Beautiful punch bowl green at Taman Park. Hazard left, hazard behind. There's red stakes down there. Anyway, this is the tough thing about these red stakes is how do you drop no closer to the pin? So we usually put a drop area way over to the left there. But this is where everything backs up normally. You got people waiting on 4. You got people waiting on 3. So what we do, us guys, we play, we have a trivia question thing. So Ron, I'll give you, let's see how many guesses it takes you to figure out what I'm thinking. Okay, go ahead.
Is it something we can eat?
Not really.
Is it mule dick?
Yep.
Oh, son of a gun, I got it.
All right, those are the stakes we're talking about. This is the hazard we're talking about. Your ball goes in there. Yeah, you can hit it. Can you improve your lie? Absolutely not. You can move a big object away from it. Or your ball moves, it's a penalty. All right, hazard goes all the way down there, well marked. Okay, you can hit it. But if you go in here, how do you place it closer to the green? You got to go all the way back there by the golf cart. That's the only way you can do this legally. All right? So pay attention to that. Hazard, hazard. Oh, that's my tee shot. That's Pete's tee shot. That's Junior's tee shot. That's the guy that just made a birdie. That's Ron's tee shot. The champ for birdie. The champ for birdie. Oh! Hole number 4, pretty much straightforward. Understand this. If you can't find your ball, anything right, that is not out of bounds. That is not hazard. That means it's a lost ball. So if you're really not sure and you hit a really bad shot to the right that you know is not in the hazard right in front of the tee box, hit a provisional. Say, I'm playing a provisional. This is my new ball. Explain what kind of type of ball it is. Hit it. That way, if you can't find your first ball, then you play your provisional. You don't have to go all the way back to the tee box. Okay? Left. It's out of bounds. That frontage road's out of bounds all the way to the corner. If you're on the other side of that, stroke and distance penalty. If you're past that and it rolls into the ivy on the far side, okay, that is hazard. It's not as well marked as it should be. It's red stake. There's a few over there. We'll talk about the creek in front of the green in a minute. Right below the 4th tee box, you can see the hazard well marked. Now, if your ball's in this stuff and you can't find it, guess what? You're hitting again because it's not in the hazard. So you got to go back up, stroke and distance, okay? You got to go back to where you're teed off, re-tee it. So hit a provisional if you hit it down here, okay? Never assume it's in the hazard, all right? If it does go in the hazard, can you play a provisional? No, all right? If you find your first ball, but say the word, I'm playing a provisional. That's the rules of golf from the USGA and the RNA and all the other A's. And believe me, out here, there's a lot of A's.
Horrelay.
This is where the hazard begins, left of the cart path. Real simple. So you see there's some red stakes here. We're left on 4. If it rolls in here, you can come back to where it crossed the hazard. You don't need to stand on the cart path. You go back to the other side. You can find yourself a decent lie. It's a stroke penalty, okay? If there's doubt that it might have cleared the fence here, then we go with the worst case scenario. There's Ron inside the creek on 4 in front of the green. So first thing he does is he sits there, and we see this a lot. We get a practice swing. No, 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 no. Hey, Ron, guess what? That's another 2-stroke penalty. You don't get a practice swing. You're in a friggin' hazard, dude. You could set your club down. Yes, you can by rules. Now, can you move a stick or something behind your ball? Yes, you can. You can pick that up. But if your ball moves, it's the general penalty, okay? But anyway, what Ron's going to do is just step up, no practice swing. He understands he's in hazard, and he's going to hit just an absolute P. Oh! Into the bunga. All right, typical men's club tournament. If you run into these guys out there on the course, run. All right, we got El Presidente, we got Mr. Reddy, Mr. Keegan. Oh, duck hook stripe show into the bunga. Anyway, this is a great time to sit and chat with your buddies right here. On this, they're on the 8th tee. Now, Sousa's waiting for the green to clear because he thinks he can reach it. Anyway, this is why we log jam up and everything else. All right, put out here by the management. I used to call it the women's clubhouse, but I can't do that anymore. It's not appropriate. Anyway, please use this. The neighbors have been complaining. We don't want the cops called. We don't want somebody to say the same thing that they said to me on my honeymoon. That looks like a penis, only smaller. All right. Hole number 6 at Taman. Shout out to my kid, Lucas Kiff, who drove the green. Wouldn't have believed it unless we were standing up there, and he yelled 4 and it landed right at our feet. Kid must be juicing. That's all I could say. This is where the power lines come into play. They come into play on 2 and on 4 and on 7 and on 8. This is probably the most common one here. Those power lines there, if you hit the power lines, you must re-tee. You must repeat your original shot. I know sometimes you get a really good kick off it, and it lands up on top of the hill there. However, we play the local course rules. You must re-tee. Hazard on the right, OB on the left. Understand those features. If the ball ends up into where the goats live, that is a ball out of bounds. If you're not sure whether it bounced off the fence and stayed in, please hit a provisional so you don't have to walk all the way back. However, hazard on the right, there's red stakes going all the way up. It's fairly clearly marked. Your ball goes into the hazard. Your ball goes into the hazard. Pick it up, take a stroke penalty, come back outside of the hazard, set the ball down, whack it again, and live, and try to make a creek a par with a 1-stroke penalty. What are Pete's options here? He's against the fence on the left on 6, okay? If he picks the ball up and moves it, you know, he can wipe it off. He's in play, but he's got to set it back down, all right? His options are, if he wants to take an unplayable, he can mark it. He can take a, club length, get full relief from the fence, and then hit. But it costs him a stroke. There is no free friggin' relief from a fence line at Taman Park, ever. He gets a stroke, he gets a driver out, he gets a drop from his knee, except we lift clean in place. Anyway, now he's sitting 2, essentially. Hitting 3, but anyway, that's the rules there. The goats are around here someplace. The white one's named Gino, by the way. I don't see Gino. Gino and Brian is the other one. But anyway, you can see all those golf balls out there. That's a stroke and distance penalty there. Pete, in this circumstance, would just enter a stroke penalty. He can try to punch out from that fence there. If he was left-handed, he could do some weird backward flip thing and do that, and then he just screwed himself. So anyway, he did the smart thing. This stuff alongside 6 here, do you have to hit out of that? No, but just tell your playing partners, hey, I'm taking relief. It's not marked. It's not, but this is obviously unplayable and ground under repair. On this side here, you've got kind of the same scenario. That doesn't mean you get to come all the way across over here. You got to stay over here someplace, find a little piece of grass. There's a little piece of grass right there. So if I am in the hazard there, I come across into the field play. You can see the field of play is marked by the yellow stakes. I don't get to go across the cart path, okay? Understand that. I don't get to go across the cart path. All right, we're still on hole 6. We're up top by the green. Beautiful view. Junior came up short. Understand that fence right there Is it OB? Yes, it is. Is it street OB? Yes, it is. The fire hydrant. That's a good, that water main. If my ball's against that, is that a man-made object? Yes, it is. I get relief from that man-made object. No closer to the hole. These little hazards right here, sprinklers, great drainage. Do I get relief from that? Yes, I do. No closer to the hole. 1 club length. All right? Just understand those rules, especially if I'm against that fence. Do I get relief from that fence just like the fence down below? No, I do not. All right, as you can see right there, we've got a big old divot in the ground. So Junior Tamayo is going to show you how to fix it correctly. There's the, oh, there it is. All right, so notice how he doesn't pry up. He just pries sideways in, all the way around, sideways. He's not prying up. He taps it down. Now, if you do more than one, what happens to your golf game, Junior? The golf gods give you a break. The golf gods love you. So anyway, understand that. All right. Hole number 7. Probably the most rules abused hole on the course. All right. You see that red stake over there on the right side? That's hazard. Hazard's going to run all the way down to the green down there. I can see there's a, oh, by over the women's tee, there's a red stake there. That's hazard. That's going to run all the way down to where you park your carts. Okay, understand this. If I hit a tee shot and it's right or left and into the hazard, okay, it's where the ball crosses the hazard is where I'm going to drop. So if I jank one left right off the get-go and it crosses somewhere by that red stake, I don't get to go to the bottom of the hill and drop the ball down there. All right? This is the one most abused rule. If it crosses, wherever it crosses, that's where I take my relief. If I can't find my ball. Okay, you can go down there and look. You can find it, identify it, take it out of the hazard and drop on the line that it went in, assuming that it went in that area, okay? If I'm over on the 6th fairway, if I really slice one bad, can I get to play it? Yeah, I get to play that one, okay? If I'm under a tree, you could always, just understand this, you always have the option, if your ball goes in a hazard, to re-tee. So in a case like this, if my ball goes out of play into the hazard where that red stake is, I'm going to re-tee because chances are I'm going to be farther down where I get to drop. I'm still taking a penalty for hitting the ball. Right? I hit the ball, that's 1. I take it out of the hazard, that's 2. Okay? So now I'm hitting my 3rd shot essentially. All right? Now, if I don't get to see where my ball went into the hazard because I'm up on the tee box up here, but I kind of have a line, talk to your playing partner and say, hey, it went in over here. Okay? Many times you can watch it roll in on the right. You can't really see it rolling on the left. But anyway, use your best judgment and then go back 5 yards from that and then drop your ball on that line there. Okay? But I see this all the time. I see guys just dead pull a shot. Over here, it crosses somewhere where that big oak tree is right there that I'm kind of focused in on. And then they go down to the bottom of the hill. They drop down there. Okay? No. You're dropping by that tree. Understand that. Probably the most abused course hole that we have on this course. All right? It's where your ball crosses the hazard. That's where you drop your ball. All right. That rule is now in effect. For demonstration purposes only, we determine where Pete's ball crossed the hazard. He's dropping back up here, not down below. And he gets rewarded. Go in the hole! Go in the hole! All right, the beautiful 8th hole at Taman Park. Another kind of abused hole. All right, understand this. Right now, you're going to find your ball on the right and on the left. But a couple weeks from now, when spring and the weather warms up, they're going to have too much grass over there on the right and the left. That's not a hazard. The only hazard on 8 is right in front of the tee box marked by those yellow stakes. All right? So if I hit my ball right or left into some fairly tall grass and I can't find it, then it's a lost ball in the fairway. which means that I got to go back to the tee box. And we don't want to go back to the tee box. So if I hit my tee shot right or left, and there's a chance that it might not be in play, then I'm going to call provisional and set the ball down. I'm going to say the last ball was a Titleist 3. This new ball is a Titleist 1. And I then hit that ball. Now, if I find my original Titleist 3, then I get to play that and I pick up my provisional. All right? But understand that this is one of those holes where I don't get to say, we lost it somewhere around here. Little different scenario if we see where the ball landed and we thought the ball plugged because the ground's really wet. Totally different scenario. That's just an agreed upon spot. No penalty on a plugged ball. But if the ball goes into tall grass, please hit a provisional. If the ball goes way to the left over there by where they store the sand in the water towers, please hit a provisional. If the ball goes right and might roll all the way to the fourth fairway, please play a provisional. Don't slow the tournament down by running back the walk of shame back to the tee box and hitting another second ball. Okay? Thank you. All right, just a couple of rule clarifications. Man-made object. My ball's in here. Do I get relief? Yes. The brush. There's lots and lots of piles of brush. This is brush in the fairway. It's been touched by a human, piled up. Would I get relief from that? Yes. Okay. Big branches like this. Do I get relief in the fairway? Yes. This is considered a fairway. There's nothing that designates this as a hazard. Understand that. If I'm on the road, is that considered a cart path? Yes. If I am, it's not really marked correctly, but we play it this way. If you're behind that sign on the asphalt, that's considered out of play. Okay, that is not part of the course. And there's a nice little column that goes all the way around there. But understand that you're going to have situations on this place where there's a pile of brush, a pile of something that's in play. If it's been handled by humans or if it hasn't been picked up in a timely manner, like that stuff there, that is not a penalty. All right? Not a penalty. Not a penalty if I got to move that. One last note on 8. Out of those pine trees, there's lots of roots. Don't hit it off a root. Check the ground around you. 2's got that big pine tree has the same issue. You do get relief from a root. You get relief from a gopher. That's considered a burrowing animal. So if you're on a gopher mound or by a gopher hole, you get a club length. Free. All right, another interesting scenario. Did Junior clear the creek or didn't he clear the creek? And when you don't see a ball over here, what do? You assume the worst. Junior's in the hazard. And if he can't find it, he's got to go backward across the hazard. All right, here's another good example that we miss all the time. Is Ron's, he's in the field of play, and what's he doing? Okay, now he's messing with the breaking branches off. Highly illegal. You're not allowed to improve your lie, Ronnie. What the fuck? Anyway, he's not allowed to do that. He's not allowed to break branches. He's not allowed to pull weeds. He's got to hit the ball as it lies. There we go. Great shot, Ronnie. Ron would like to add one more thing to this video. We appreciate you guys sticking with us and watching.
Basically, your position on the golf course is right behind the group in front of you. So if you could manage that, that would be amazing. There should never be a space between you and the group in front of you. You should be right behind them. Your position is one shot behind the group in front of you. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Ronnie. All right, that's Ron there in 3. Junior's there, I think, in 4. So Ron is 1 over on this 9. Junior is 1 over on this 9. We got quite the bet going. Just want you to understand that Ron is a 13 handicap, and he's basically 4 over for the day. Ron's going to post his score, and his index is going to come down. Please post all your scores. We appreciate it. Did we tie?
That was a bogey. No, he parred. I bogeyed.
Oh, Ronnie Ettlin, the champ.
Took down
Junior
the champ.
Tamayo, the 4-time champ. Takes him down. Pete Ramirez, notice the friendly handshake. Notice how Mexicans and whiteys can get along just fine.
Thanks, people.
Thank you, guys. Thanks for your help, everybody. This is Martin Kiff, your golf captain, signing out.